everyone, Donut here. Florida Man's back at it again, but not with quirky antics. This time, Florida Man did some pretty horrendous stuff, like shooting 5 people for no apparent reason. 3 of those people died, including a 9-year-old girl. We're going to talk about that. 3 of those people died, including a 9-year-old girl. We're going to talk about that and another case that I forgot to talk about a while back that kind of ties into this. But first, a word from our sponsor. Our sponsor for this video is ShipStation. In the chest who killed a child has to feel so good. And then I put this video up. Check this out.
Get on your face. Get on your face. Get on your face.
God damn.
They killing me. They killing me.
Hold. Everything is going too quick. Wait a minute. I know I'm kind of slow. Hold on. Kicking someone in the chest who killed a child has.
Spartan kicking someone in the chest who killed a child has to feel so.
Dang.
They killing me. They killing me. They killing me. They killing me. They killing me.
Killed a child.
The legendary A-10 Warthog arrives in the War Thunder online action game. The sound of a 7-barreled gun, plus a whole...
Relax, man. Relax. All you guys coming up. Relax. Relax. That way. Go. Go secure that whole area.
Screaming he can't breathe when he clearly has enough breath to scream makes a lot of sense to me. If you guys have been following me for long enough or watched any amount of body camera footage, you know it's a pretty common thing for people to scream out that they can't breathe now when they're being arrested. Of course, this move became popular after the death of George Floyd. You see so many arrests now on video of people screaming they can't breathe when in fact they can. Another incident I wanted to talk about a little bit is where a bunch of spoiled white kids from out of state went into Atlanta to pillage and riot and loot, and then when they got arrested they started screaming, "I can't breathe." Well, this isn't Portland, and the police don't play around there in Atlanta, apparently.
What is a popular thing, man?
So you can hide it? So you can hide it? Make it quick so you can hide it? We all got it on video.
What it is George Floyd had a knee on his neck. They don't have no knee on their neck. They're not really on them.
A dude I talked to quite a bit on Twitter who also thinks that Antifa dudes are the biggest shit in the world had this to say. He responded to the kick that we just watched, saying the mass murder suspect tried using the BLM trick of repeatedly shouting, "I can't breathe," and they're killing me. The Atlanta Antifa domestic terror suspects who are white recently tried the same thing following a violent attack last month. Not to dive too much into another subject, but just think of this as like a Leo recap. There's things that I should probably do again that I haven't done in a while. So what had happened was that the state of Georgia had wanted to put a police training and a firefighter training facility up. A bunch of hippies didn't like that, so they set up tents to block the construction. Kind of like any of those other Occupy whatever things that they do because they have no jobs. Well, police went in to remove the protesters, and one of them opened fire on police, striking an officer, injuring him. So what did the police do? They fired back and killed this guy, shot him 13 times. The agency that did the actual shooting did not have body cameras, but another agency that was kind of behind them, you can't see the shooting, caught this.
Damn. What are y'all? Y'all just standing there just looking. Y'all don't need to take y'all guns out. Y'all just sitting there looking. You better get ready.
Is this target practice?
Then people across the United States raised over $40,000 for the guy who shot at police. It's so weird. Not once on GoFundMe did they ever say that the guy shot a police officer and that's why he's dead. Anyways, the people that just got arrested in that video invited all their friends out because their comrade got shot. They were putting up stuff like this on Twitter. A call for retaliation. Consider this a call for reciprocal violence to be done to the police and their allies. Then they give a date and they're like, hey, come participate in a night of rage in order to honor the memory of our fallen comrade, the guy who shot at police. They did a lot of money and property damage too.
Dang. Ain't none of this is going on. Well, you know I don't even watch TV like that, so I find out on the internet.
These fine human beings were arrested and charged with domestic terrorism and a bunch of other felonies. Hope I didn't go off the rails too much right there. I just forgot to talk about that last month. Back to our original video. Why did he get Spartan kicked in the chest in the first place? Orange County deputies responded to reports of someone being
I am Sparta.
shot and found the suspect's first victim, 38-year-old Natasha Augustin. The shooter's cousin identified him and the hunt was on. A little bit later, police started getting reports of a shooting in the same exact area. A local reporter was on scene covering that shooting when the gunman showed back up to the scene of the shooting, shot and killed the reporter, and then shot and wounded another news photographer. The reporter, 24-year-old Dylan Lyons, died from his wounds, and the photographer made it to the hospital in time after being shot in the groin by the suspect. Well, if you didn't already hate this guy, it gets worse. While police were en route to that shooting where the reporter got shot, a woman called police and said her and her daughter had been shot in their home. The suspect had snuck into their home through the back door and
That's why you need a gun to defend yourself in your house.
shot both of them. The 9-year-old girl
know
died
when the
from
cops
2
gonna
shots to
get
the
there.
chest. Mom lived and was able to give a description of the suspect to police, where they found him walking down the road a little bit later. That's where our video comes in. There's not much to break down other than that was a really good kick. This guy's a little baby back, and if you watch towards the end, they actually
Basically,
had
pretty
to
much.
cut his gun out of his pants. He still had it on him. Somehow people in the comments were still saying that was just too much force. When will the officer
I
be
even
charged
killed
with attempted
somebody.
murder? He was arresting someone unarmed, presumed innocent, and who had several guns pointed at him. There was no need to use potentially deadly force. The courts decide guilt and punishment. That is not the role of the officers. Aren't they supposed to read him his rights prior to arresting him?
Fuck that. If you kill somebody.
Innocent until proven guilty. The guy had all but surrendered, and they kicked him down and brutalized him. And these cops have no de-escalation training anymore. My partner used to go to manager training seminars for police sergeants, and they get trained all wrong. I hate seeing this kind of abuse. Even if this is the correct shooter, innocent until proven guilty has to mean something still. These guys don't know how to be good cops. Foul language and then shoving the guy to the ground. Always have to escalate. Seriously, f*** all you. I wish they would have just shot him. That was the perfect amount of force, and I'm not saying that because they were punishing him for what he did. He started to drop his hands. The police officer wanted to keep his gun on him, so he gave him a kick to the chest, and it worked out great. And I hope that decentralization can hurt. But, you know, in the end, he hurt a child, and I'm sure all the other prisoners will know about this, and he's probably going to get the broomstick treatment for as long as he's alive. So that's all I got for you guys today. I think I should start doing Leo recaps again, where I do a couple crimes in one video. I think that'd be kind of fun. I miss doing that. If you want to help support the channel, as always, just go to donutoperator.com, where you can find all my other links, my other channels, and get some super sweet merch. Until next time, please have a fantastic day.
Facts on the website, but yeah, that was a good video. I hope y'all liked the video. Nashville breakdown. I should watch that. But anyways, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
Live the grind, I could change in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win at life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat.